I thought, I wonder what God thinks of me. Really, I wonder what God thinks of us. This could describe most of us. We grow up in a Christian home. Many of us went to a Christian college. Our lives are comfortable. We're in comfortable houses. We have very little opposition proclaiming the truth. No persecution of any kind. You know what? I've been given the best of care. I know you have. Surely, we should be producing more than those fig trees in these difficult areas that they live in. I wonder what the Lord thinks of us. I wonder what He thinks of American Christians. I wonder if He thinks of the number of our independent Baptist fundamental churches who have been taught from the right Bible, given the right doctrine, been allowed to hear some of the finest and choicest of God's missionaries, evangelists, and pastors for years. And then yet we produce so little for Him. I don't know if it's because I've been praying for revival that this matters more to me now than ever before in my life. But I don't want to just be okay. I don't want things to just continue along. You want to know what a joy it is when I see people make up their mind that they want to be in this place, that they agree with what we teach and what we preach and what we stand for and what we want to do and what we believe God is doing. That's so exciting for me. But I never want us to get to a place where we're just okay. We're just okay. We're just satisfied. I want to be the fig tree who says, God, I was ready to flourish and to fulfill my commitment to you, even if I was just the old fig tree on the side of the road being tortured and run over and beat up. But God, you've given me so much more than that. You have afforded me more than most anyone ever can enjoy. Can I tell you, we make a mistake when we're not here in Sunday school.
Amen.
It's perilous for us when we don't make it back on Wednesday night. We've made the wrong choice when we don't look for opportunities to serve.
Yep.
We are missing out on all of the trimmings, all of what God is doing as fig trees in this place. And I think there's a reason for why. I'm going to finish with this, and I want to get this right. I read this and it got a hold of me, and I wanted to get a hold of you. Listen to this. Charles Montague told the story of a man in his 50s. 50s, that's a nice young age. Well, really, this is maybe for some of you, and we can tell for me, we don't know how many more years we have. None of us do we?
Right.
We don't. I am so excited when I read a biography of a preacher who preached well into his 90s. Amen. Somebody, amen.
Amen.
I know some of you are thinking, oh my. This man in his 50s woke up one morning with a numb feeling in his right side. The man had been active and vigorous in his life, but was now at a difficult time. His children were grown and married, and his wife had died. He saw his numbness as the beginning of old age, an ailment that would limit his vigorous life. He decided to carry out an experiment in which he had long been interested. He loved the mountains and was an excellent climber. He determined to go to the Alps, throw away all caution, and climb higher than he had ever climbed before. After all, he had nothing to lose. No precipice could frighten him. His life, he believed, was nearly over. So Christopher Bell went to Switzerland to a special place that he had in his mind and started out alone to climb a 12,000-foot ridge over the steepest possible route. He did notice as he began his ascent that the numbness in his right leg, arm, and side seemed to abate a bit. At mid-afternoon, he was halfway up the ridge, slowly and painfully cutting steps in the ice fall with an axe. He was beginning to tire, and his path ahead was even more steep and dangerous than he had thus far traversed. He, at last, came to a terrible cliff, sheathed in ice, which was jetting out above him. In other words, he had to do something more difficult than climbing straight up. Without hesitation, he began cutting holds for his hands and feet with an axe, hanging on against gravity with his free arm. Progress was slow, but at least he reached the most hazardous spot of all, a place where the overhang was directly above him. He could only go forward one painful inch at a time. Such progress cost him a tremendous amount of strength and depleted endurance. He began to feel the ache in all his joints. A terrible fatigue warned him that his strength was about to fail. He knew that if he relaxed one muscle, he would drop thousands of feet to his death. But on and on he went until he finally came to that amount where he could no longer raise his arms to chop the steps in the ice that would take him to safety. He looked at the overhang still above him, knew that he could not make the last few feet, and felt a strange ease that had reached the moment he sought. If his life could not be vigorous and active, he might as well end his way. You know, I'm going to stop for just a moment. Some of us are right there. Suddenly, however, he became aware of something above him, something on the upper side of the overhang. He could hear voices, but he couldn't see anyone. Soon an ice axe came sliding over the end of the overhang and fell into the abyss below. He now knew that there were people above him and that they were in trouble. He heard a cry of distress. Amazingly, new strength began to flow into his arms, his legs. He no longer felt numbness, cramps, or fatigue. He only thought about helping those who were in need. Carefully, yet with maximum speed possible, he began to climb again, cutting more steps with the axe, pulling himself miraculously forward, and then suddenly he had made it. He saw two people, a woman dangling helplessly on a rope, and a man over her, unable to move from the precarious perch since his entire strength was necessary to hold the woman. Bell added his pull to that of the man and was able to bring the other individuals to safety together. The three climbed the ridge, found a hut, and spent the night in warmth and conversation. Bell had, of course, rescued the man and the woman, but they had also rescued him. For if he had not heard their distress, he would have yielded to exhaustion and lost his own life. May we understand that meaningful life is not found in ease. Right. Meaningful life is not found in avoidance of responsibilities. The child of God, real abundant life, for him, real abundant life becomes in being yielded, active, and faithful in God's service. Amen. Let us be fruitful fig trees. Right. May I tell you, this is not a story just for the 50-somethings. As a matter of fact, I have super seniors in this place that encourage this 50-something every day. They say, youngster, keep on going. Keep moving ahead. The cause is great. The hour is late. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. But this message is also for the young people who are now in their prime. They have their health. They're enjoying all that anyone could enjoy. Take what you have and give it all to Jesus. And know this. The best investment that you'll make is to let Jesus make you the best fig tree that you can be. Don't waste it. Don't lose it. You want to talk about revival? You want to talk about the Lord doing something big in this place? It's recognizing that He's not through with me. He's not through with you. He still has much to do. And I'm telling you, folks, we're not going to quit. We're not going to give up. We're not going to look back. We're going to look forward. Our hands are on the plow. Let's keep going forward. Brother Hyman's going to keep preaching in those gems. You are going to keep talking to your neighbors. You're going to keep serving in Awana. You're going to keep coming and feasting on the Word. You're going to be involved in every area that the Lord has for you. You're going to enjoy all the pruning and trimming that the Lord wants to do in your life. And you're going to take it to the next level. But just about the time that you're thinking you're too tired, that you can't take another step, then you're going to look out and you're going to realize they need me. Because if you don't see them, you'll give up. You'll quit. The number one reason for why I see people begin to back away from really loving the Lord and serving the Lord is they get their eyes off of the ones that the Lord loves. And those are the ones that are hanging on the other side of the cliff that only you